Hey, what's up? It's Dominic D'Angelo of AdamFreeShows.com, SEScoops.com, and BrassRingMedia.com. Check it out. I got a piece of chocolate in my mouth. 1 second. Let me finish it up. But Robert is on assignment today. Actually, his internet's down, so that's a bit of an issue. So he will not be here today unless he pops in and the internet works for him. But you got me. I'm flying solo. I got a lot to talk about. Let's say hi to some folks in the chat here. Triple E says, "What's up?" Alt Jake says, "Dirty Dom to leave Vegas with AAA Mega Championship tonight." Oh, that's right. That's tonight, isn't it? Yeah, it is peanut butter. It's a chocolate peanut butter thing. I got it. We're good. We're good. I'm not putting that comment up, Triple E, but Johnny Disco says, "Good day, aren't I?" Yeah, AAA, man. I think that would be the right thing to do. If you're WWE, Dom is such a big star. He's so over right now, especially with that Mexican crowd. So, yeah, put the title on Dom and ride with it. Like, make it fun. Have him carry that around to the Raw and PLEs, anything like that too, and make it feel special. You bought AAA as a property if you're WWE, so why not make the most of it and make your stars elevate that product and get eyes on there? It's pretty fascinating that Dom is a heel and then that he makes that organic connection with that Mexican crowd. And it's good synergy. It's really good synergy that was circumstantial, right? Uh, for all we knew, Dom could have been heavily booed and got a lot of heat in the same way. I think any which way you looked at it, he would have gotten over in AAA. But the fact that he's over, as people like to see him, is a big deal. Alt Jake even adds that Dirty Dom helps AAA get a TV deal. That'd be interesting. Be interesting. Jeff Hanger says, "Hey Dom, do you have some Power Man 5000 queued up for Worlds Collide?" Dude, I love that song. That was what video game was that on? Was that SmackDown vs. Raw 2007? It's weird. I can think about that stuff and kind of be right. I wonder what soundtrack that was on. But yeah, craziness. Crazy discussion, speculation going on. Not just with WWE, but with AEW. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. WrestleMania set to perhaps go down in Saudi Arabia. And from how it sounds today, Triple H is making a big announcement at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to reveal something. A lot of people are speculating and expecting it to be that Saudi Arabia WrestleMania announcement 2 years down the line. Robert really expressed his thoughts on the aspects of it coming into play. I'll expand on that a little bit on my own opinion. I just don't think it's a good move for them to do in the long term of it all. I think you look at the situation where the tickets are being outpriced and for a certain market and stuff like that, and yeah, maybe people are buying them now. I don't think that's going to last forever. And that aspect that WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia, if it's not its own WrestleMania where you have quote unquote 2 WrestleManias, which is I don't think is good for the brand itself. But if you were to call it something else and make it a big deal, then you could kind of get away with having a huge event and it not hurting the WrestleMania brand or the WWE brand in long term. But you got to call it something different. But haven't they done that already? Like Crown Jewel and Greatest Royal Rumble ever, and you name a lot of the different Queen and King of the Ring and stuff like that. Night of Champions, I think they had over there once. Maybe I'm wrong, but like you have already tried to make that feel like WrestleMania, so you have to call it something different. Calling it WrestleMania and taking WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia, you got to be getting paid huge. But is it worth it? Is it worth it in the grand scope of your brand? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting when 3 p.m. rolls around later today and what the discussion gets all about. Um, Another discussion going on. Wow. Paramount has put I believe, a $30 billion bid on the table to acquire Warner Brother Discovery. And hey, you know what that means. That means that's the AEW. Is AEW's under that umbrella. What does that mean for AEW? If you're under a new company, they might have a different viewpoint on how to handle things. It could be a positive thing, could be a negative thing. How do they view pro wrestling? How do the people at Paramount view professional wrestling? Do they see it live content that is pretty necessary in today's streaming world, that you need to embrace live streaming content and maybe make it a keystone of what you promote on your product? Or will they dismiss it like a lot of those Time Warner folks did, and Turner in general? Like Ted Turner was a big advocate for pro wrestling and WCW, but would they fall? But the other suits around him weren't fans of pro wrestling, did not care about pro wrestling, and so I don't know where that lays out for AEW. I'm trying to think of live content that they have. I mean, CBS obviously they air pro football, NFL, and stuff like that. Did they just acquire something else too? I think here, Paramount's really trying to make some big moves here. Obviously, $30 billion. That's really big. Am I right about that? $30 billion? It sounds like a lot of money. A lot of money. Hold on, we're really gonna look that up real quick. I just want to be sure that's correct. Paramount, Warner Brother Discovery. Let's see what pops up here. Yeah, this is according to the Wall Street Journal. The majority of the planned bid for Warner will be made up of cash. Straight cash, homie. Randy Moss. Moss this, Moss that, Moss this, Moss that. Yes, Warner Brothers had a nearly $33 billion market capitalization on early Thursday prior to the Wall Street Journal's report on the potential bid, more than double that of Paramount Skydance. A bid hasn't yet been submitted and the plans could still fall apart. So, I mean, it's an early speculation, I guess. But, man, you think about how much HBO turned to Max, then you have Max to HBO Discovery, Warner Discovery. It's just like all these moving pieces and how they've had to rebrand so quickly and things like that. And then Paramount itself too, them worrying about, I think this is what I was thinking about, was worrying about South Park, that whole situation going on, making sure that they stay with them, and all the stuff being moved around. What a weird time in the entertainment business, in the world in general. But I mean, but all these moving parts, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And to see where AEW maybe falls into place in this, could it be a good thing? Could it be a bad thing? I'm very curious what people think. If you guys have some extra thought on this. Oh, there we go. So Jeff Hanger, yeah, UFC is Paramount, and that's part of TKO. It's true. Wow. What kind of ripple does that have? They're part of TKO, and you acquire Paramount. I mean, you acquire Warner Brother Discovery, and you have a competitive wrestling promotion on your product. Ooh, great point, Jeff. Great point. I know everything is being absorbed under one giant umbrella. Yeah, I just don't know. And Paramount will merge with someone else in the next 2 years. I know everything just keeps the what is it? The fish just keep eating the bigger fish, and the bigger fish, and it just keeps on going and going and going. It's just, it never ends. Where will this end? Man, I just miss the days of having 35 channels and just worrying about that. Having to tune in live. Get a VCR and tape Nitro or tape Raw while you watch the other one. Or, yeah, I just miss the simpler times. Everything is so accessible now. And it's so funny because, you'd have to tune in to watch stuff. Now, it's very, very difficult for me. I want to watch a lot of things, but do I? No, I don't. I want to watch Tulsa King. Have not watched Tulsa King. I want to watch X-Men 97. Have not watched X-Men 97. I am way, way behind on the Marvel franchise, even though that's kind of fallen off a cliff regarding, like, I think the last big Marvel movie I watched was Avengers. Uh, what was the second one? The second Avengers, Infinity Wars. Is that right? Avengers Infinity War. I haven't watched the third one. Haven't watched Thor Ragnarok. Haven't watched um, Black Panther. I'm way behind. So, but what I'm getting at is, like, everything is so accessible. I can watch it. I can watch anything I want to. But for me to actually sit down, watch a series, very, very tough. Oh, Age of Ultron. Thank you. Yes. Willie Thornbrew says when he was a kid, there was 5 channels. Right. Good golly. But yeah, it's so tough. I just, even today, it's like, I have to make a concerted effort to watch AEW. I have to make a concerted effort to watch Raw, to try to catch up on SmackDown. I'll be forthright, I haven't watched a full episode of SmackDown in a long time. So it's like I usually try to catch the highlights. If something big happens, I'll watch that. But I mean, it's just like pick and choosing cafeteria method, you know. And it's the way people consume media nowadays too. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but like, dang, I do wish I was able had the commitment and the time and the drive to sit down and watch a series. Like, I really want to watch X-Men 97. But then at the same time too, I want to watch the original series before I watch that. And I'm like, I got to do that first 5 seasons of the original X-Men and then watch the X-Men 97. I mean, it's on my list. I want to do it, but it's just like, oh man, it's like, and I'm sure once I get in the rhythm of watching it, then I get in the rhythm of watching stuff. But yeah, it's hard for me to sit down and watch a series now. So it's just, and nowadays everything is so accessible and everything to that effect. Oh my God. Are you serious? Trey Owens, why does Collision have yet another 500K tag match, this time with the women? I love Tony. I love him. I think he's great for the business in so many ways. I think he's very considerate. He's very nice. You hear the story about him and Eddie Kingston? Like, he just paid for Eddie Kingston's, any of his surgery that his insurance wasn't going to cover. Just covered it. And like, does the extra thing that, fans would want to see. And he's doing stuff that he wants to see. Like, and he's a fan. But there's that disconnect of believability when it's 500K on the line. Hey, that's $1 million you're giving away, right? On in a full week. It's a lot of money. And I wouldn't be so against it necessarily if you're thinking about it from the perspective of we kind of get worried about how much wrestlers get paid a year. So if you compare it to that, it doesn't associate. Like, if I were the Young Bucks, I would have been like bloodthirsty. You're giving me 250K a piece. I mean, yeah, to win this match because John Moxley doesn't want any of the money. Like, I would have been like zombie, like, give me the money. But Devin Dowling says he's got some hospital bills from his son's birth, could use some help with. Yeah. Ooh, man. Yeah, I got some tax issues. I would love that to help out. For 200K viewers, wow, woof. Look, you could think about that. You could give that everybody almost $3 a piece that watched your show with that 500K that's on the line. So Allchake says Tony may be a nice guy, but he's terrible at business in general and can't book his way out of a paper bag. I just said this since the beginning. Is just like, Tony, if he was more willing to just have a crew, set everything up for him, just facilitate a story, maybe like a Robert Karplus perhaps, and just have stuff get fleshed out from, you have a guy like Robert, you have somebody like Jake the Snake, and bring Arn Anderson back in the fold, and you get these good minds to help facilitate a full-blown story week in and week out that you can just hash out, and then boom, hey Tony, take a look at this. What do you think about this? What do you want changed? What is viable to you? What isn't? Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. You have the final say. Keep it simple like that. And man, I mean, like, what a great product you could have. It's just like get the wrestling groupthink or brain trust in there and have them do the dirty work of putting things together and everything to that effect. And then, hey, Tony, this is what we came up with. This is your baby. What do you decide? Goes, stays, everything to that effect. If that was the formula, I think they would be a-okay. And they would have been a-okay years ago. They would have been a much higher level, getting ratings cash in more than anything else. So that's it. Help me out here. I don't know how good CRU booking a show would be. Leo Rush is all over the place. I'm not sure what that means. Somebody help me out with that one. Who likes fig shorts? I'm not clear on what you're saying there. Sorry. Altchik says you're right, Dom, but Tony can't let anyone else make decisions. He has to do it all. If only he had spent a year under or 3 under a learning tree or a brain trust, then take over, they'd have a chance. Oh my gosh, look at this crew he's come up with. Devin Dowling says Tony should have Robert, Kevin Nash, Freddie Prinze Jr., Jimmy Jacobs. Wow. Well, I can tell you right now, Kevin Nash probably would not be into doing that. He is not into traveling, does not want to be on the road on a week-to-week basis. So I would say Kev's out. But Kev's very smart. Yeah, I think he gives some cool stuff. But Robert, Freddie Prinze, and Jimmy Jacobs, that'd be a good crew. That'd be a good crew. I'd be down for that. Boy, we're putting Robert over big time. Look at this. Robert Karpelis could turn AEW's booking around 100, but Karpelis has like 7 jobs. It's true, he does. Tony needs Cornette and Russo. Oh my God. You want to talk about a powder keg right there. Good Lord. I don't think. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I have some hot take here. Hot take. I don't think so. Cornette would not fit in that ecoscape. I think Cornette would lose it. Like just how everything's operated, the effect of that. It'd be oil and water. Cornette and AEW. You get some eyes, that's for sure on it. I will say this. Some of what Vince Russo does, Robert would probably murder me for this, but some of what Vince Russo does could be beneficial to AEW. And maybe how he's booked things in the past, because it is different. Now, would Russo be the ultimate voice amongst that table? Absolutely not. But I do think Russo and some of his content that he maybe could think up or conjure up could be helpful to AEW in regards to what goes on. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Yeah, well, Devin Dowling says this. Russo was great at giving everybody a story. Might not be a good one, but everybody had. That's it. That is it. You know, do I agree with what Russo thinks and his philosophy on a lot of stuff? No, I don't. But I do see a benefit of something like that he would come up with that he could do. And like, yeah, should there be somebody to shut it down? Absolutely. But like to Devin's point here, he came up with a story for everybody. And if you have just him say, hey, what about this? What about this, bro? Think about that. One of the 10 might stick or whatever. And like, but you need somebody to massage it a little bit and make it appropriate for modern television and a modern kind of thought process on this. Russo only had like 4 ideas. And yeah, I think I think that's, I'm trying to think. So I was obviously 14 when WCW was hot, but leaning downward. 14, 15. And, I was a big Scott Hall fan. So anytime Scott Hall was on, I was, boom, invested. But like, if I try to think about people who really caught my eye back in the day, like during WCW's downtime, it was very much like Sugar Shane Helms and uh golly, but during that time it's so tough. Like I mean, like it just felt like a flat product, and kind of what sometimes what AEW feels like. No offense, but I mean, like it didn't feel like the bloom was off the rose when it came to all that stuff. Boy, I tell you what, if you share this segment here with Robert, the show might be canceled. I mean, rumor and innuendo here. I get okay, yeah. Okay, how about this? We get Robert Russo, Robert and Russo. Oh my god, and Arn. That's my creative team for AEW. Boy, I'm just stirring the pot here. Um, hey, let's talk a little bit about something, guys. Um, you know, we have some great sponsors here at Rumor and Innuendo, but you got to think with the way the economy is today, you want to be on top of your finances. You want to be on top of how you get money to people and how you get money sometimes too at the same time. So let's talk a little bit about Cash App. What are some common red flags like that people run into? I mean, I get so concerned. I know when I have my bank account, and if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, you never want to overdraft. It's such a demoralizing, frustrating aspect of it all. And if you kind of go through the Cash App channel here, it makes things a lot more easier and stuff like that. The built-in card security keeps your money safe and the protection you expect. When it comes to your money, you deserve to feel safe from fraud and in control. So that's another thing to worry about. You just don't know what's going on in today's world sometimes. And that's what you can expect with Cash App. When you get the Cash App card, not only do you get the access to tons of perks and benefits like exclusive early access to nationwide concert pre-sales or discounts on popular brands, but you can also have extra security with the power to instantly lock or unlock your card right from your phone in just one tap. If suspicious transaction pops up on your card, Cash App has your back by automatically declining the purchase and sending you a heads up to confirm it's you or not. Behind the scenes, you can rest assured knowing your account balance is protected by 24/7 fraud monitoring. If something ever feels off, you have the ability to lock your card right from your phone with just one tap. With Cash App, you can spend, save, and live your life knowing that money is right where you left it. With advanced built-in security protections you count on and help when you need it. Spend the peace of mind today and order a Cash App card on the app or at cash.app/card. So here you go. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash for real. So get this. Just download the Cash App, use our exclusive referral code SECURE10 in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right in your account. How about that? Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners, prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, instant discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Incorporated brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. So there you go. Thank you, Cash App. All right. Let's take a look at some comments here. Devin Dallin also stirring the pot. Robert, Russo, and Ryback. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I never imagine if they fleshed out the Dustin Rhodes 7 character. Yeah, that silver paint though was not good, or white paint, whatever it was. Ugh. I think the aspect too is like a lot of. I think Dustin was going through a rough spot too at that juncture. A lot of ongoing factors, I'm sure, when it comes to that. Lloyd Nicolette says, just started watching, but with the possible Paramount purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery, the views that the company gave on AEW may not necessarily be a pro wrestling view, but the nature of what AEW presents. Let me reread that. Just started watching, but with the possible Paramount purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery, the views that the company gave on AEW may not necessarily be a pro wrestling view, but of the nature of what AEW presents. Can you clarify that for me, Lloyd? I'm sorry, I might be slow on the uptake here. I just don't know what you mean by this. Are you referring to which company? Are you referring to Warner Brothers Discovery? Are you referring to Paramount? I'm curious what you mean by this. All right. Ron Ward, damn it, Dom, I'm late and somehow it's your fault. Just kidding. That is my fault. I'll take the fault for it. Let me, RVD, we might go tonight. I'm waiting to hear back from Rob. We might be live tonight at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or we're going to be this weekend at some point or another. But Triple E, in this regards to me talk about being at fault and what's going on later today. Today, Greg Gagne, Magnum TA, and I will be discussing the Power Town figure situation. Power Town has been getting a lot of buzz in the wrestling figure world in regards to figures and what's the status of them all, and are they ever going to get made, whatever. And like a lot of negative, unhappy feedback, and understandably so. People are frustrated, customers are frustrated, all that kind of thing. Jim Cornette, speaking of, took to his own podcast to talk about Power Town and stuff like that, and that situation and all the buzz that's going around. Well, today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, brassringmedia.com, Greg Gagne, Magnum TA, and I will be talking about it and covering it. I do want to make this clear, and I'm going to reiterate this on the show too later today. So on brassringmedia.com. Somebody that has been painted as the villain of this thing and has been mocked and made fun of has been Greg Gagne. And let me tell you straight out, Greg Gagne's intentions for what he's done with Power Town and what he's done for the legacy of talent that has been forgotten over the course of time and trying to keep people relevant, Greg Gagne's intentions are 100% pure and good. So it's been super upsetting to see him be the butt of jokes when it comes to what's been going on with something that's been completely out of his hands, and for people to trash him. Greg Gagne is a great person. He says some polarizing things. He has been a very polarizing figure in regards to the world of wrestling. But me knowing Greg Gagne for who he is, the type of person he is, how thoughtful and considerate he is to people, fans, colleagues, everything to that effect, Greg Gagne is a great person. So let me make that outright clear. And I'm going to say it again today, too, later on the show. So, but you guys get an early preview. Greg Gagne is not at fault for anything when it comes to what's been going on at Power Town. So make that perfectly clear. I'll make it perfectly clear again later today, and hopefully we can get some clarity too when it comes to everything else going around that whole thing. So if you guys want to tune in live, you can join us, brassringmedia.com. Help support the show. Think positively both of Greg and Magnum TA because they're two great people. I love working with them, and I feel blessed to be working with both those guys and getting to know them on a deeper level than just pro wrestling fandom. So help support us later today, brassringmedia.com, and shout out some good stuff. Okay, thank you, Lloyd. Following up with Lloyd here. Paramount, they may not like the overall overly violent nature. Great point, Lloyd. I think that is a great point. I think the aspect that Tony needs to really shake out of and that the AEW roster really needs to shake out of is that heavy violence. I don't think that is beneficial to them whatsoever. That is also counterproductive in growing your brand. I've expressed that, and I've expressed it with Rob and everybody too, and Rob agrees with me. It's just like this death match stuff, and all this blood and fork, and the spike to the back. It's unnecessary, unneeded, huge turnoff. Great point, Lloyd. I agree with you. Let's see. My buddy Greg Gage Gonya has a father named Greg and Grandpa Vern. I think the coincidence is hilarious. Wow. Different spelling, but same pronunciation. Holy smokes. Dre Owens makes the counterpoint that Paramount just got UFC. Paramount just got UFC. Violence is there. Not to the level of, I mean, that's real violence, I guess, but I mean, like, this is some gory stuff going on. And depending on, it's going to be interesting. How is Paramount going to view AEW if they acquire it? That's what a sticky situation. Oh, sorry, I just popped that back up. But yeah, we'll have some interesting stuff to cover later on next week as well. Wanted to make sure anything else is going on here. Yeah, that'll do it, I think. Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar is on SmackDown tonight. How about that? Be interesting to see what gets said to at that Triple H announcement at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Robert will be away next week. I will have some guest co-hosts to join me throughout the week, and I might fly solo a couple times too, because I like flying solo sometimes. So, but join me every Monday through Friday here on adfreeshows.com, on Free Shows YouTube channel, on the Oh You Didn't Know YouTube channel, on the Rumor and Innuendo YouTube channel. You can also watch us live every Monday through Friday at noon too, as well at the W Creative _ish X account, the at Dominic D'Angelo X account, the at SE Scoops X account, and wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to us too on audio form. So that'll do it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for the feedback and the great insight and inputs. Yeah, we might get Marcus on there. We'll figure it out. But yes, should be fun stuff to cover. Wrestling is very interesting right now. The media landscape's very interesting right now. I am really invested in football at the moment, but it's always interesting to see how wrestling tries to live and exist in the same world when NFL season is here. So, Ron Ward, I did not get the role of Seymour. Thank you. If not, their loss. I did not. Let me say this. So I auditioned for the musical. Little Shop of Horrors, we're referring to, by the way. I was Seymour in high school. So I was like, and that's, oh my God, 25 years ago? It is. It's like, is it longer? No, it's 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I was Seymour Krelborn in high school. And so I was like, hey, we have auditions in the Pittsburgh area for Little Shop of Horrors. I'm going to try out for it. So I was like, all right, I have a song picked out. I didn't have to do a monologue. They just wanted me to sing 32 bars of a musical in the same realm of it all. I always go with Giants in the Sky from Into the Woods, if you're familiar with that musical. Well, so I have sheet music. I have the song. I know the song, word for word. So it's like just kind of easy for me. I always am apprehensive to do musical auditions because I never like trying to get on the same page, literally, with the accompanist. And so I was very apprehensive about doing it with an accompanist. I usually do it a cappella, which means you just sing outright. You don't have piano behind you, just you singing. I can usually do a pretty decent job at singing a cappella. And I wish I would have done that instead, but I didn't. I went with the accompanist. We didn't line up. I started off key. So it didn't go as well as I wanted to. But hey, I tried it out. It was fun. But thank you for asking, Ron. I appreciate that. I know I should have gave the practice run on here. If I could do it in front of you guys, I could do it in front of a couple of directors or whatever. The fun side story here, James Dean, the late legendary actor James Dean, he I think he was very nervous to meet Elizabeth Taylor. I think it was. So what he did, he was on the set of Giant at the time, and Elizabeth Taylor, I think, was there for the day, and he was so nervous to meet her. This was his way to handle it. I hope I'm recounting this story right, but he took a whiz right in front of a whole bunch of people on set. Said, if I can piss in front of you guys, I can go meet Elizabeth Taylor. So how about that? All right. That'll do that. In other words, you spent too much time overthinking things. I tend to do that a lot, but I don't think. I mean, I don't know if that necessarily came into play as much. Like, I just, it's not good for me to do with accompanist. I'm not. It's not my best thing. That's why I steered clear of auditions, musical auditions. I can do monologues where it's like straight plays and stuff like that, and just like rattle stuff off. I like doing that. I love doing cold reads. I love cold reads because it does take a lot of the overthinking out of it. Hey, you're here. You have the script in front of you. You just read and you act. And so I like doing that. But overthinking, I kind of did not. I don't think I overthought it. I don't like lining up things up. But yeah, maybe in a way it was overthinking. All right, that'll do it for me. I'll see you guys Monday here on Rumor and Innuendo. Best of luck in your future endeavors. Best of luck in the New York Jets' future endeavors as they take on the Buffalo Bills this week. All right, see you Monday. Peace.